Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are out in the Hartley just enjoying the afternoon. It's been sunny most of the day. It looks like we might get a little bit of cloud cover here, but it is warm in this greenhouse, a little bit breezy outside. Perfect day for a couple of repotting projects. First one is our Maverick white geranium seedlings. Aren't they beautiful? These, you guys, we planted these from seed. Let's see, it's probably about November the 14th. So we're not quite even a month out. And that's how much they've grown. The packet had 10 seeds. It was supposed to have 10 seeds. It had 11 in it, so I did plant 11. One of them did not come up, so it's kind of perfect. I got exactly what I expected to get. Benjamin is out here with me today. He's working on some hidden pictures. My dad subscribes all of the grandkids to the Highlights magazine. Oh, this one's got a whole bunch, but I think you've done a lot of them, but there might be some toward the end, like this one needs to be done. There's another one.
Ooh, I get to do one of this.
Ooh, very nice. I popped this little shade up because the sun was just streaming through here and it was really hot. So the geraniums are the first project we're gonna tackle. The second thing is repotting the kumquat that I've had for almost an entire year, and it's still in its nursery container. Here it is, looking so full of leaves, so full of fruit. It came with a nice crop of fruit on it when I bought it last year. So this is the second crop we're gonna be able to enjoy. I don't even know how many are on this plant, but quite a few. Now there are a few things I have learned about this plant since we've had it for so many months. One, they're very easy to take care of. So low maintenance, they don't like a lot of water, they don't need a lot of fuss. We had it in a sunny spot. The second thing I learned is that when it gets subjected to colder weather, the leaves all turn yellow. This plant had a very consistent, just a medium green leaf. It was just very healthy looking. The very first night it got cold this fall, I forgot to turn the greenhouse heater on and I forgot to put the sides down. So this one, like right after that, the whole thing, like it's a very consistent sort of yellow color at this moment. And normally I would think, oh, maybe we're giving it too much water. That's the first thing I would address. But this happened right after that cold night. So I'm thinking that that's what caused this. So I'm hoping by getting it repotted, giving it some food today, and keeping it here in the Hartley where it's gonna get very consistent light and temperature all year round because we don't keep doors open in this greenhouse. I'm hoping that it bounces and it isn't bothered so much that happened. I hope anyway. We'll see what happens. The fruit on this plant, so interesting. It's the first time I've ever eaten a kumquat. It's kind of fun that it's the first time was off of my very own plant. But I waited until they were very squishy, and I think that this is the only type of citrus, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only one that you can eat the entire peel on, or that you want to eat the entire peel, because that's the sweet part of this fruit. The peel is so delicious. The inside is very tart, so they're good for like marmalades, dried fruit, preserves, things like that, or fresh eating if you like that kind of tart sweet. Did you try one of these when they were ripe? No. I don't think any of these are quite ready yet, but they have to be very squishy and very dark orange bud. They are self-pollinating, so you don't need more than one of them in order to get fruit, which is very nice, especially if you are needing to keep them indoors. I don't really want to have to carry 2 kumquat plants in and out. It's just nice that it all happens on one plant. And the variety of this one is Nagami, if that's how you say it. I believe that variety is the most widely known, the easiest one to get your hands on. It grows like 6 to 10 feet tall. A lot of people keep them pruned smaller, and about a 6-foot spread if it's like in its normal climate. I don't know, maybe you could get it to grow that big in a container. You probably could if you had an ideal location for it. It's just a really neat plant to be able to grow. So much fun, and I'm excited to have it in here, see what happens with it. This is the container I chose to put it in. This is like the tallest size of the bow container from Unique Stone. I think it's beautiful, and it's not a dramatic jump up in size, which you don't want to, if you're putting something in a pot, you don't want to increase the size too much. And then this is the soil and food we're going to be using today. I've got the organic cactus mix, which is also for palm and citrus. It's just a faster draining soil so that water doesn't stick around the roots, which, judging by the heft of this pot, like I can pick it up with absolute ease. It's very lightweight, so I know the soil isn't super heavy, and it's done really well, minus the cold night, so I don't want to mess with it too much. So that's the soil. I'm going to be mixing in some citrus tone. as well. Oh, it also says it's for avocado, which I am in possession of the 2 avocado trees. I should go give them some food too. I am gonna need to find a saucer for this container. That's one thing I forgot to do, so we'll need to go grab one of those. But this should be a pretty easy repot. And then I brought in some potting mix and flower tone. I'm gonna mix some of that into the soil for these little guys. And I've got a couple of different sizes of terracotta pot that I'm gonna be putting these in. I think they're gonna be so beautiful. I usually start our geranium seeds like January-ish because I can't remember what the packet says, like 12, somewhere between 12 and 16 weeks you wanna get them started so that you've got blooms for your gardening season. It might be 10 to 12 weeks, I can't remember exactly, but I on purpose started these early because I would like to see if I could have some white blooms in here for springtime. I think that'd be so fun to have them to work with. And it's just fun to push the envelope a little bit, see what you can get to happen. I mean, geraniums clearly love it in this location. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go grab a saucer really quick so that I've got everything I need in here and maybe something to put the geraniums in once they're done that'll catch the water. I don't think I have enough small saucers for those. And then we'll get started. You put this right under the pot on the floor, okay? We're gonna put it right there, so you can set it down right there. Perfect.
Pretty big.
It is a big one, isn't it? You pour some soil into
Ooh,
this
yeah.
pot. Okay.
Yes, I've never done that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Careful not to get any out, so put it all the way in there. There you go.
Oh, this one's already open.
That's fertilizer. We're not gonna put that in quite yet. Okay, I think that's all I want to pour in right now until we figure out how much we need on top. All right, so we've got a clean saucer now, protecting the floor. We've got a little bit of our cactus mix soil Benjamin poured in here for me. I think what we're gonna do, oh, it feels so good. Oh,
Feel it?
yeah, you wanna feel it?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't that feel awesome?
Yeah.
We're gonna slide the root ball out just to see how much more soil we need. Before we do that, we'll add our tone in. And I'm just gonna follow the instructions. So potted plants. For new plants, we mix 2 cups of citrus tone per cubic foot of soil. So we don't need very much. 1.5 tablespoons per quart. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. I'm gonna pour some in, we'll mix it in to the soil that's down there, and then I might put a tiny bit around the top when we're done as well. All right, Benjamin, you wanna stand back for this part because I don't want the fertilizer to puff up in your face. Okay, here we go.
Is fertilizer bad for your face?
Well, it's not a great thing, even though this is organic, it's not something you wanna necessarily like
How?
have, like breathe it in. So let's just let the dust settle for a moment. Mix that fertilizer into the soil. Want to do a little mixing? I bet you I put about 1/2 cup in the bottom there, maybe a tiny bit more, and it's all mixed in. Okay. Ooh, the root ball looks good. Nice. Check out that root ball. Super healthy root system. I'm going to tease the bottom just a little bit. It's not super root bound though. I mean, a little bit more on the bottom. You can still see a lot of soil around the sides. So Benjamin, check this out. You can see the root system of this plant. So you kind of want to tease it just a little bit.
Sorry, camera.
You kind of want to tease it a little bit. Just open up that root system, but not too much. You don't want to shock the plant. Yep, there you go. Good job.
If I take some dirt down with that?
Yep, okay, I think that's plenty. We might need to add a little bit more soil. Oh yeah, we need to add a couple more inches. All right, well that was a good trial. It's easier to need to add a little bit more. Here we go. What type of fruit is a kumquat? What type of fruit do you think this is?
I don't know.
Like a citrus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you know what stone fruits are? They're like peaches and plums, nectarines.
I've never had them.
You have. You've had them out of our orchard. So stone fruits are the fruits, bud, that have a pit in the center.
Pit.
Yeah, you know, like that round, hard brown thing in the middle of the peach? Yeah.
It's called
Got to add a bit more fertilizer since we added more soil. There we go. This is going to be a happy plant, dude. All right, here we go. Oh, that is perfection. Look at that. That's so pretty. This is a pretty pot for this plant. Oh, yes. Okay, now we're going to need to open up one more bag of soil. Okay, you can see the root ball and how perfectly it fits in this container. I already poured a little bit of soil on top. Look at the difference there. Whew. So we're just going to fill it all the way in. Oh, I could not love this planter-plant combination more. The height of that pot with the size of the canopy of the plant is just the perfect balance, I think. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I know it looks oddly placed, but it's not in the way of any doors. You know, we walk through right here, plenty of space. This is the door that we use right here. This one can open, but it's rare that we use it. If we have to take something big in or out, we'll use it. But even then, there's plenty of space. There's like, I don't know, 3.5, 4 feet from pot to door. So you can swing that open and maneuver out. We could move this too if we need to. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it right there. We'll see how it does. And I'm hoping that the leaves kind of either correct or we get new leaves. I could dust these off. I probably will do that. I did do a thorough inspection on this plant before I brought it in here. Even though we keep a close eye on our plants no matter where they're at, I didn't want to introduce something in here that I may have been dealing with there in the greenhouse. And for us, at least for me, citrus are an attractor of a lot of different insect pests. Scale being one of them, mealybugs, and spider mites. So I looked this plant over. I found no evidence of anything like that. I did find one spider egg sac, like a normal spider egg sac that's on the floor in the greenhouse at this moment. But other than just having some dust on the leaves, it's pretty clean. So I was really encouraged by that. I'm just so excited about all the fruit. Look at how beautiful. They're just so dainty. They're supposed to grow 1 to 2 inches is the size. So we're right at about 1 inch. So that is it for our kumquat. Now we're gonna be working on our geraniums. While I grabbed my saucer, I did go grab my tongs. It makes it really easy to like reach in. You can see right here. You can reach in the sides and pull your soil out. Of course, this isn't a good example because I quit watering that cell, so the soil's super dry. First thing we want to do though is I'm going to mix some of our potting mix with our flower tone in our potting tray right here. I'm just going to remove everything, get our soil mixed up with the fertilizer in it, and then we'll start potting. Beautiful roots. I could have probably left them in the seed tray just a little bit longer, but I was looking forward to getting them repotted. Is that not the sweetest thing ever? Oh, I love it. So if we lift up our tray and take a look underneath, you can see some white roots coming through. That's when I decided, when I saw that, I thought, well, They could probably stay in a little bit longer, but let's give them a little bit more room to grow. So I take some of my soil and I try to make a square shaped well-ish. Like that. We'll take our tongs. Oh my goodness, look at that one. Oh, wow. And then in it goes. We can just tamp it down with our fingers. Super easy. And you know, I can't remember if it was when we were planting the seeds or when I gave you an update on the seedlings, but I showed you the natural, which is what I've been using for fungus gnat control, because last year with my geraniums, I had the hardest time with fungus gnats, and my lysianthus as well. So I have treated these twice with natural in the last 3 to 4 weeks, and I haven't had any fungus gnat issues whatsoever. So that's been very encouraging. And I did show you the natural tub and kind of talked about what it was and how it works in that video. Let's get the rest of these done. The area cleaned up, geraniums are done, and I think this galvanized tray will work really nicely until I pick up some saucers that will fit these pots. Oh, they look so cute in all of those little terracotta pots. 2 of them are like a gray finish, and all of them are heavily used. They have a nice patina on them. Beautiful. I did water them in as well, and because we used the flower tone today, I'm not going to worry about liquid fertilizer for a while. We're just going to see how they respond to the flower tone, and I did mix in kind of a light amount. You know, the nice thing about that type of fertilizer is that it's such a slow feed that you would really have to use an enormous amount to harm a plant. So, but because these are younger, I went a little bit lighter. But the Maverick series, you guys, maybe we can pop a picture up on the screen. They're just this bright, pure white flower. The foliage stays this really deep, beautiful green. They're also really good for heat and humidity, and they grow about 15 to 18 inches tall. So they're a really nice sized plant to either, like I tucked them into the edge of flower beds, I had them in containers, I had them in window boxes, and they just are a wonderful plant all the way around. Now I guess like the Maverick series, they're supposed to be shatterproof flowers. So I don't know if like that means that they can hold up to heavier winds or that sort of thing. I'm guessing that's what it means. I don't know what Cheddar is doing out there. He's just been doing all kinds of random things. Oh, Russell's out there too. Uh-oh. Russell. And you guys, that is it for today. It was just a beautiful afternoon to putter around in the greenhouse, get a few things done, a few things that needed attention, like that kumquat. I've just been staring at that thing for months. And you know, once you actually get it done, you think, why didn't I do that sooner? And I know I say that all the time. There's always things though that fill up the time, you know, instead of doing those sorts of projects. And as long as we get around to it at some point, we're good. So I hope you guys are all having a really great day, and we will see you in the next video.